pickup.
There's something wrong with society. Another media casualty. Well, here's a dose of reality. The small town mentality.
Welcome to Small Town Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, Ben. Randy is here.
No, I'm not.
Okay. And our guest for today is comedian Dave Temple is here.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
His new album is coming out, or it came out already. I mean,
Yeah, December 25th, the second one, man.
Perfect. And the first one has been out for a while.
First one came out. I dropped that 2017. Yeah. So you can check those out on YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, Tidal, wherever you guys listen to it. The second one is my actual first comedy special, which is available exclusively at davetemplecomedy.com. So come on out, poke around the website, but give the special a look. It's hilarious.
I actually have that set up, and I wish I was more prepared, but I could have done this for you.
Yeah, that's dope.
So me and Dave met on the Legion of Skanks Discord server and have since then slowly becoming friends. I did his show, and I was doing my show.
Yeah.
I think you guys called us your sister show once.
Yeah. But yeah, with the unpopular opinions that we do on the Instagram live there, which you had probably one of the best ones, like one of the most memorable ones of the year, you know what I mean? Where you did it from the rig, which is awesome. We were geeked out by that shit.
Yeah, it was too dark to see me, so I just flipped the camera around. They watched the rug go, and I was
yeah.
talking.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, that was very exciting. That's fucking radio genius.
Well, you know what they say. I'm a genius. That's what everybody's always saying. Randy here brought a list of things that he wants to.
You fucked it up.
Oh, were you gonna?
I was just gonna shoehorn everything into
never
the
mind.
conversation.
I'm sorry. You can still do that.
Fucked up my whole bit, man. Shit.
So the bit we've had on this show is we talk a lot about the 90s, and sometimes they bring them back after we talk about them. So we talk about Tony Hawk a lot, and then they remastered that. I talked about Surge a lot, and now I'm drinking a Surge. I talked about Doritos 3D, and now Doritos 3D is also back. So we're just bringing back things that nobody cared about from the 90s.
We're gonna run through the list. The Taco Bell dog.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Pogs.
Pogs are here already.
Oh really?
Yeah, we can get custom Pogs for the podcast.
Nice.
I thought about doing that.
Airwalks.
Okay.
Zima. Yo-yo tricks. Saturday morning cartoon / Disney afternoon. That show Gargoyles.
That was a pretty good one. Yeah.
Hercules, Xena, that X-Men cartoon, Beanie Babies, rollerblading, The Big Lebowski, Ray-Bans, and those weird little jelly wrist bracelets.
I'm pretty sure you can find most of those.
Do you remember the ones that had those jelly ones, but it was with the colored liquid in it, right?
Right.
The ones that were pretty much a fleshlight.
Yeah.
For children. Yeah. I remember those ones. I remember
sometimes, and kids would lick it. I remember that was a weird thing too.
3 minutes and 40 seconds into the episode, and you had to make it weird.
Yeah.
We actually had a wholesome thing going on for a minute here. We had the nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
And I had to go straight back to the blue material.
I usually make things
Can't
sexual.
keep you out of the gutter.
But now I forgot where I was going to go. Oh, you were talking about they'd pop and kids would lick them. Same thing with what are those neon? You crack them?
Glow sticks?
Glow sticks.
Yeah, people would eat that stuff, and that was super toxic. I had glass in it.
Yeah.
Don't eat that shit.
No, when I was a kid, they used to say they had acid in those things. If you broke them open, they'd eat through your hand or something.
Yeah.
That's what we thought, because it looked like the stuff from Alien. It looked like the blood from Alien.
Exactly.
I remember putting it all on you and going in the dark. It was fun. Good times. We used to dye our hair back when we were kids. We used to dye our hair with Kool-Aid too.
Yeah. I've had friends that did that. I never got to do that.
I'm just picturing 11-year-old Ben just dyeing his hair with Kool-Aid,
Yeah.
covering himself in glow stick stuff, and possibly drinking paint.
And I wasn't on drugs, but that was my life. So I heard you talking about it the other day. I did listen to your episode with Adam Nutter. Shout out to Adam Nutter, friend of ours.
Oh, Cult of Us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to that the other day. And then I saw you post somewhere that you've been doing comedy on the subway. I wanted to ask you about that. How's that been going?
Oh, it's ridiculous. it's ridiculous, but I mean, what else are you gonna do? I mean, yeah, I know you can sit in the house and all of that, and I don't know. It's an experience. I know it's not the most positive thing to do, and it's probably not a good thing to even be out like publicly saying that that's what you're doing, but I don't know.
You're talking to two people that live in Wyoming that never actually closed down, and people get mad at you for wearing a mask. So
Yeah.
you're not really bugging us any over here.
Yeah, well, it's not you guys I'm worried about. It's never. It's
internet.
like, yeah, there's like strange people that I don't know, but I never really. It's not that I don't believe in the thing. I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like, okay, somebody's got to die from the shit. That's right. So, like, I'm not looking for it, but I'm not running from it either. It's just like live your fucking life. If it happens to me, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people think it did happen, and then everybody called that a hoax because everybody was like, oh, I got it in January, which I was one of those people. And then, like, nobody got it in January. And then apparently they found blood samples from people, like, giving blood with COVID in it, like, before that. So it could have easily had happened. I don't know, man.
Yeah, well, you talked about that on my show last night. I felt bad that I have lost interest in the
COVID
thing. Yeah, whatever this show is, I lost interest, man. It's a series that's gone on too long for my liking. I never made it all the way through Game of Thrones. I never made it all the way through The Sopranos. I never made it all the way through Oz. Like, I just don't have that kind of attention span to go with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, all right, guys, you guys got it. I was never able to follow the NBA. Too many games, man. 81 fucking games. Yeah. 81. Baseball was the same way. It just goes on, and you're just like,
Besides social media and then occasionally bringing it up on the show, I mean, it hasn't affected me too much. I'm by myself, you know. My office is moving. I'm always alone, so I never really just kind of lived my life.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think I've also grew up enough with my life being disrupted where I'm like, you know, even this kind of disruption doesn't really affect me that bad.
Yeah, I've been living like a straight up shut-in, man.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck that. This thing's been killing the hell out of fat people.
Well, so Dave's got a show on Instagram Live, which he's turning into a podcast soon, right? Is that?
I'm looking to make it into like, a live stream thing like this, with the studio.
Okay. It's called Unpopular Opinions, and you go on there and bring up unpopular opinions, which makes me think about you because you have a lot of unpopular opinions or opinions in general.
My opinions are very popular.
I did one
and loud.
I did one today that pissed my wife off. I said, not a fan of Johnny Cash, which most people are.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
I don't know. I didn't get Johnny Cash until I moved out here, and I heard some more of it. And I'm like, it's not my thing, but I appreciate it.
Not a fan, man. I hate the fact that everyone loves him. Maybe that's why I hate Eminem. Not a fan of Elvis. I just go.
You see through the charm, yeah. You're the person that comes into the church and goes like, "Come on, guys," it's like,
yeah.
And I get it. Sometimes the bigger that person's audience is, the more you're like, you people are stupid.
I look the other way.
That's the way I feel about what the world is doing right now. I'm like, you guys are all paying. All right, I gotta go do something else.
Yeah,
but that's so. But his music to you feel anything about the music or anything? Or I mean, I'm not defending. I'm just curious to your point of view.
I just don't listen to that sort of thing. As a lot of people know, especially ones that listen to this show, I'm stuck in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
That's my persona. I'm the 90s guy. So I listen to ska and pop punk and 2000s, rock and metal and stuff like that. So that's kind of still what I'm into. Is that what you listened to in high school? Is pretty much you for your life? But I don't know.
I would agree that that's the happiest music. Like now, when I run and exercise and stuff like that, I listen to music. I started off mostly with music from high school to get me back to a fit mentally of like when I was, young and playing sports and stuff like that. Now I've kind of circumvented it to finding music from any point in my life that I was happy, just any spurts of happiness. If there's music in the background, I just kind of gather that to keep going. But I realized the other music, how when you go like, I don't like this music, the music, you always trash the next generation's music, right? You're always like, this new music sucks. And it's because your life kind of sucks at that time. And I don't mean that negatively. It's just like, if you're an adult,
your life sucks.
Yeah. Like you're stuck in traffic late to go do some shit you don't want to do, and this hit song is the soundtrack of the shitty parts of your life.
Yeah.
So you're only hearing new music under duress. You know what I mean? It's like somebody could play you the biggest fucking hit song while you're getting a root canal. Chances are you're like, fuck that song. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I've never been a fan of like top 40 or top 100. I've always liked more underground stuff, unless it's like Chumbawamba or something.
Yeah,
everybody gets down to Chumbawamba.
The name I haven't heard in a minute. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I'll give you an example. When I was in high school, I was listening to a lot of Smashing Pumpkins and playing Final Fantasy on the PlayStation. And when I get home, I'm going to listen to some Smashing Pumpkins and play Final Fantasy on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
but it's a completely different game, completely new PlayStation, and a completely different album.
Yeah, it's a new album.
So it's not the same at all.
Yeah. Speaking of bringing things back, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I just don't like top 40 anything. But like most of the songs on TikTok, maybe it does have something to do with mood, because most of those do get stuck in your head.
Yeah,
you'll be
I
scrolling through and you're like,
here's the thing about the TikTok shit, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of how dumb it is, those motherfuckers are having fun.
Yeah,
exactly.
No one's on TikTok going like, "Hey, this message is for fuck you and you left-winged ringtard ding." Like, there's none of that shit's on TikTok. It's just like
that's on Facebook.
Yeah,
right.
So you're saying there's an open genre, then?
Yeah, but it's kids. They're having fun. They're just fucking relaxing.
Yeah, and that's it. Just enjoy your damn life.
So when I hear those kind of songs now, I go like, "Oh yeah. That's what this music is for. Turn your fucking brain off and relax." You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be okay. Listen to some top 40 and get in with the rest of the fucking heaves or whatever. We just get in line with some people and just go like, all right, I'm gonna do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's an interesting theory with the music being, when you're happy versus music when you're an adult and you're all frustrated with life and shit. And I don't necessarily disagree, but I got another theory. I think it's just each generation has to do something different from the last generation to assert their own identity. So Gen X is going to try as hard as they can not to sound like boomers, and Gen Y, millennials, are going to try their best not to sound like Gen X. Gen Z is going to try their best not to sound like millennials.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm actually liking
when did that happen? There used to be a time where you wanted to be like the people before you. There was a time where you looked up to your, at least that's what the perception was. Was that, you think that was false? Was there never really a time to look up to your father and be like, I want to be just like my dad?
No, not for me. My dad, he was one of those people like his dad, and you have a job for 50, 60 years, and I had like probably 200 different jobs since I was like 15. It just wasn't my thing. I still don't like it. Like after a year, I'm like, let's start looking around. I'm bored of this.
Dude, my dad was a machine gunner in the 82nd Airborne, and I suck at Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, dude. I do a bit about this now, where it's like the purse dog is like the ancestor of the wolf. You know what I mean? And like for a wolf to see his great grandson in some woman's purse, and he's like, "What the fuck
Yeah.
happened?"
Little chihuahuas and stuff. Yeah.
Back in my day, we would tear the throat out of deer, and here he is begging for belly rubs. What the hell?
Yeah,
I mean, there's still a little aggression in there. Most of those little dogs will still nip at your heels and stuff. Bite
and that's
you.
all they're capable of doing. I
Yeah.
feel so
Little
bad.
dogs.
Have
like
you ever?
the Taco Bell dog.
They're little dogs with big dog energy.
I feel like little dogs are aggressive beings reincarnated into a little dog. Like
Yeah.
all of the same aggression, the same concepts of world domination, and just fuck, I got these little legs and this tiny body.
You heard it here first. Back. Maybe if I could talk. You heard it here first, folks. That all little dogs are the reincarnation of Hitler.
I'm
The
writing
ultimate alpha. No.
I'm writing down big dog energy as a
Episode title.
episode title.
Yeah. You ever see a little dog? You ever see a little dog fuck a stuffed animal?
Yeah.
You automatically started snickering, right?
Yeah.
He's serious. He's not fucking around. You know what I mean? Like he is full blown fucking the shit out of this thing, and we're sitting here giggling because we don't respect him because he's little.
I don't appreciate you calling me a little dog. But yeah. I see where you're going.
Yeah, well, out of the two of you, if I were to walk in on the two of you having sex, I'm probably gonna close the door a little bit slower on you.
It's just lagging. Wait, was that what I? Okay, I just had to double take. All right. Yeah, we Randy made the observation once that we looked like Skipper and Gilligan next to each other.
Well, I said Skipper and Gilligan, Barney and Fred Flintstone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The number 10.
yeah, yeah.
That's an interesting time. Those characters too, man. Barney and Fred, and who was the other guys you mentioned? The first two.
Skipper and Gilligan.
Skipper and Gilligan.
Yeah, we talked about them on Unpopular Opinions that Gilligan may have ruined the bucket hat for white guys. What do you think?
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, now a white guy in a bucket hat just looks pretty fucking doofy. You don't really take that guy seriously.
I don't know if I've ever seen a white dude in a bucket hat that wasn't Gilligan or trying to look like Gilligan.
So my CB handle in my truck, you know, you got the CB up top and people talk to each other. My CB handle is Gilligan. That was dubbed to me like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's just weird how things come full circle, and now we're talking about Gilligan again. But
You're the one that brought it up, so
it's true.
it's not like it happened organically and it was completely out of your control. It's like,
Rude. Okay.
yeah. No, yeah, because I did make that comparison though, seriously. So
Dave's just looking
and I
at
had
us like,
no idea that was your CB handle. At
Yeah.
the time.
Dave's there looking at us like, what are these two?
Hey,
What is happening here?
Nah, dude, this is what I'm always fascinated by, man. Like I love talking to people that aren't like me at all. You know what I mean? like
Yeah,
nothing, even from like you. My first thing seeing the truck that you drive,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't have expected you to look like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like the anti-trucker.
Yeah,
What most look like.
but I think that's the good part about getting out there, like anywhere. You know, where you're just like, holy shit, it's not that. It's not what people think it is everywhere.
Was that you that was talking to you about Wyoming the other day, or was that Conrad? I know you guys both run that account, but you were talking about racing.
Hold on, say it again.
Racing? You were asking me about Wyoming. You're like, is there a lot of racing there?
Yeah, because it's flat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like you guys are kind of like mechanically inclined, where you would, know how to make engines and shit like that run. So.
I wish I did, because I have a 74 Volkswagen Super Beetle that has been sitting in my garage, and I have not worked on it at all. Because if I did know how to do that, then I would be driving around in it, because that'd be fun.
Yeah. Where'd you get the car from?
It was my grandpa's.
Okay. What's stopping you from getting started on it?
Mostly anxiety, and the way I look at things a lot in life, and why I can't ever start things, is I look at it as a whole, and I go, it needs this, it needs this, it needs this, it needs this. And I was like, I can't do all of those things at once instead of just like one piece at a time until it's all together. I look at the whole picture and I go, I can't fucking do that. How am I supposed to do that?
See, I never do that. I just jump head first in that motherfucker. Like Leroy Jenkins, total los días, let's do this shit. Come on. This asshole over here did it. I can do it. This asshole over here can do it. Let's do it.
You want to
yeah. That's always fascinating that people who have that mentality versus anybody who struggles with it. I think we all struggle with it and find it in our different ways. I mean, I'm working on it myself. That's what even allowed me to self-produce a special or an album. It's all a learning curve. It's fun to figure it out. I say that only say I was working on cars for years up until my accident last October. So now I don't have a car anymore. I'm like free of that. But for years, I loved watching YouTube videos, figuring it out. Like looking back on it, it was great. There was a lot of frustration, I got a lot of burns and scars. Like you look at my arms and you'll see shit on me and I'm like, what is that? And it all comes from a story of like, oh, I was working on this, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. It's a cool experience, like, especially like if your grandfather left it to you, you know what I mean? That's probably what he wanted you to find was that peace of mind of like, yeah, fuck it. Whatever's going on in the world is going on. But today I got to fix this fucking fuel line. And that's, I've lost plenty of days on the fucking floor and the driveway going back and forth to AutoZone, fucking just in the garage, working on bikes, man. Sometimes with the bikes, we be in there all night long. I used to race motorcycles in the streets in Philly and we crash a bike, take it back to the clubhouse and be in there working on it just to get it running the next night. And shit was a relationship killer. But I don't know, man. It was a fun time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish I could get it running. One of my dreams is to have, take my son for a ride in it because me and my brother used to ride in it. I mean, my grandpa had it for 30-something years, we used to cruise around in it with him when we were kids. So it's kind of that generational thing. Like now I want to do it with my kids. I love that. I mean, those are some of the experiences I remember the most is riding around with him. So, but anyways, what kind of car did you have?
The last car I had was an Acura TL. And, was in a fight with my lady over some dumb stuff on Halloween. And I decided to try to go to the bank in the middle of a thunderstorm. And a branch, something came down and smashed my windshield. I total wrecked out on the car. But it was fine. Like I was like, I needed to be done with driving.
Yeah.
Focus on something else.
Yeah, not a lot of drivers in New York. I feel like I hear most of them say that they, take the subway or the bus or Uber. A lot of Ubers.
Or I rent a car if I need one. But yeah, there's nothing better. There's no better feeling than being in somebody's car now and like you just see like a check engine light on and you're just like, it's not my problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like hear a funny noise in the car. Like I stand on a corner now. I can see a car drive by with like a clogged up catalytic converter. And I'm just like, glad that is not my thing to deal with,
Most of the news I get from and around New York is from other podcasts that I listen to. So like I feel like I know some of the stuff that goes on there. It's like, why do I know that? I mean, I live what, 20 hours from there. There's no reason for me to have to know these things, but I do because I just listen to podcasts a lot. 12 hours a day.
Dope, though. Yeah, you share some ideas and energy, man.
Yeah.
And my mom's husband is from upstate New York, so I just like to say wrong things about New York around him just to piss him off. I go, yeah, no, I love your deep dish pizza up there in New York. That's great.
Nice.
Emily wants to know what's wrong with your car.
What's wrong with my car?
Yeah, the Volkswagen.
I don't know. I haven't even looked into it. I've got the gas tank out right now because it was super rusty. So I filled it with rocks and shook it around, and now I can't get the rocks out. But all the YouTube videos said,
I actually got my ass beat for doing that when I was a kid. Long story.
Yeah, all the YouTube videos, said put some cleaning product in there and rocks and shake it around, and then dump it out. And when I dumped it out, none of the rocks came out. And I was like, well, looks like I'm buying a new fuel tank.
Can't get like a shock back or something.
I don't know, maybe. We got it to turn over when we first got it in there, but I think it needs like new fuel lines. It needs all new electrical because my grandpa decided to be a mechanic and all the electrical's all fucked up. It needs a new ignition, which my mom sent me for Christmas. I don't know. Yeah. It's a list. This is a very interesting for a podcast, but yeah.
Well,
it is though, man, because here's the thing that says, and I don't know whether you know this about you. My bad. Did I cut y'all off?
No, you're fine. Go ahead. This show's about you today.
Yeah, like, so your grandfather, he had some serious fucking balls. Like, if he's fucking with the electrical in a car on his own, like
you just see electrical tape.
Yeah.
So I bought a battery, so I caught it on fire the day I got it because it needed a new battery. So I bought a battery, and when I set it in the terminal, it hooked him up.
You didn't.
It was backwards.
Oh God, you did.
Yeah, and so it lit on fire for a second, and then I grabbed it and pulled it. The reason it was on backwards is because it's the same direction I pulled the old battery out of, and it was a giant red wire. Well, apparently he had swapped it out with a giant red wire for the negative instead of positive. Who does that?
People who
want to
test it. They know what they can do to bypass. There are people who poke and tinker.
Giant red is positive. Am I right about this?
Sometimes you got to bypass
the wheel part goes on the ground. That's what I know about cars.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I just put the old battery in the same way I took, the other one out. And I was like, oh shit, it's on fire. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Usually, and what that sounds like is, because if it's me and I've ever done some jackleg shit in a car like that, whatever that was probably broke as I was fixing something else, and I was down to my last dollar and my last bit of frustration, and I needed this fucking car running like yesterday,
Well, that's how we got it running, was we bypassed it and then, smacked the starter a few times and then turned it over. But
yeah, so isn't that crazy too that everybody knows to do that? Like, everybody, if you know anything about cars and it doesn't turn over, the first thing to do is get under there and bang on that fucking starter, then try it again.
Yeah.
Like,
we had to hot wire it because it didn't have no keys. So,
but it's like the dumbest thing to do, but everybody knows to do it.
Yeah.
Well, people who know cars, there are people who don't know cars who would never think to do that. But somehow that became common knowledge. You know what I mean?
Just smack the starter a few times.
Yeah.
Also, cars can go forward and backwards. But people don't like it when you drive backwards.
I always get into subjects that Randy doesn't know, either podcasting, truck driving, or cars.
What are you into, Randy?
Mostly just writing, reading, 3D printing lately.
You got a 3D printer?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Ender 3 Pro.
How do they stop? Like, you can print whatever you want.
Yeah.
Huh?
Printed my mask that I wear everywhere.
Yeah. Like, so do they stop you from printing anything else up? Like, is anybody monitoring what you're printing?
I'm sure they're monitoring, like, if you download the files or whatever. They probably got files for sketchy stuff flagged or something.
Unrelated.
I just usually get stuff from Thingiverse.
Unrelated.
What?
This is just going to be just a random odd. Can you make sex toys?
Dude, that's like 30 to 40% of what's on Thingiverse is sex toys.
Perfect.
I have a 3D design program where you can do your 3D modeling. And the first thing I did was design a bunch of butt plugs.
Can you make them say small town mentality?
Yeah, easily.
That is wild, though.
Perfect.
This thing 3D modeling, just put small town mentality on the back of it.
Get your Logo Man butt plugs available here.
They're blowing my mind right now, man. That's crazy. See, everybody would think Wyoming is just fucking square dancing and shit. You motherfuckers got 3D printers, printing up butt plugs and podcasting.
Yeah.
It's the fucking future, man.
I think we're one of like 4 podcasts in Wyoming.
Yeah. But it ended up being butt plugs because I was trying to make a vase, and then I was trying to curve it, and then just turned it upside down. And I'm like, that's a butt plug. That's not a vase.
Anything's a
And
butt.
then just started making butt plugs. And I said, fuck it, let's run with this.
Anything's a butt plug if you're brave enough.
Oh yeah.
Let's get more into Dave over here.
Get into Dave with the butt plug.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that kind of show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna excuse myself.
I want to know some more about comedy and you. Like, what's one of the worst shows you've ever had that you can remember, either embarrassing or just annoying or heckles?
Yeah, I got heckled once at a college in Pennsylvania, like in the Delaware Valley. It was Cheney University. And it was weird. It was like Cheney, I don't know how to say this. It's just not, it's like I can compare it, it's 13th grade. You know what I mean? Like it was never like looked at that crazy as a great school, right? So, but we're doing a thing, but this woman is heckling me while she's breastfeeding her child on campus at a college show. And it was just like, I don't know, like I wasn't in a position that seriously punching down. I can't like tell her like, lady, you're a loser. You know what I mean? Like I can't, I have to still try to be funny, and there was nothing funny about it. And I just felt like, oh my God, like this job sucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like this girl who I felt was like kind of beneath me is like making my job really hard for no reason other than her personal enjoyment. And I'm like, and you have a kid that like is going to grow up with that mentality. Like everything's wrong with this.
I mean, I guess not necessarily, considering like me and Randy have talked about this a few times when we've done a show, solo, like machismo and toxic masculinity and all the things that our parents did. I'm nothing like my dad. And I think that was halfway vendetta, because like he's homophobic and sexist and all this other stuff. And I've purposely tried not to be that person. Like, did you hear about the, Jeffree Star?
Yep.
And Kanye West? Like there was that rumor going around that they were together or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that why they're getting divorced?
That's what the
dude, you guys are hilarious. You sound like my girl. She said the same exact thing, like word for word, all of that.
I said rumor. Okay.
I didn't. This is the first time hearing any of this.
I didn't even know who Jeffree Star was, but anyways, apparently he's from Wyoming. I was talking to my wife about it today, and my son sees the picture, and we were saying he because we didn't know, like I don't know Jeffree Star or what he likes to be called. Anyways, we said he, and my son saw the picture, and he's like, "That's a girl." And so we had to have this conversation, like you can't, judge people by outward appearance. You don't know. It's a whole thing. Like we're trying to teach him to be a better person than we were type, I get it. I'm a faggot, whatever. So anyways, we're trying to teach our kids better and all this other stuff. So yeah, I was because like the mentality people have now, it's just so weird and open, and it's good and bad. But it's like I was saying, I don't know why I went out that whole rant. I'm nothing like my dad. Trying not to be, anyways. So that's what I'm saying. That kid might not be a douchebag. Let's have high hopes for that baby.
Yeah, baby. If you were born, what is this? If you were born in 2006 and your mom went to Cheney University, hit me up. I want to know if you're an asshole or not.
All right. Well, I don't know why I did that. What's the best show you've ever?
Best show?
Yeah.
Probably like a theater show or something like that. I've done some theater shows where, like, I think the biggest one I've ever done. No, best show probably. Okay, I opened up for Earth, Wind, and Fire in Maryland at like this amphitheater, like this PNC amphitheater. That was the biggest thing I'd ever done. It was 5,000 people outdoors, and it was just like, you ever get yourself involved in something where you're like, oh boy, this is too big. I fucked up. Like I bit off more than I could chew. You know what I mean? Like I had absolutely no belief that this was going to work out well at all. And I somehow I pulled it off. Like, somehow I just did what I always do, but I was just like, holy shit. Like, I just performed for 5,000 people that are waiting to see Earth, Wind, and Fire, not some fucking guy. You know what I mean? And it went over well. And then to stand out there and watch the concert, like with my kids, and people are like coming up to me like, oh my God, you were hilarious. And you're like, wow, okay. Like, this might be something. You know what I mean? Like, I might really actually have a chance at doing this, for real.
Yeah, that's cool. Randy, what was your best show?
Any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. any show where somebody doesn't bring their freaking 6-year-old kid to. That's
yeah. He was telling that story, and I'm just like, yeah, I've done nothing with my life. Cool, Randy.
No, because that was hands down the worst one. Was when I'm in the middle of really, really blue material, really raunchy. We're talking, not the same level of skill or hilarity, but definitely the same amount of vulgarity as anything that Red Fox or George Carlin would have pulled out of their ass.
Right.
And then dude walks in with his 6-year-old kid.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just sitting here like, well, Junior's about to learn some new words. And this dude is glaring at me like I'm the asshole because he brought his 6-year-old kid into a freaking bar. So
give it to him. Yeah.
That's another thing about Wyoming. Apparently, you can bring your 6-year-old kid into a bar.
I don't think you can, man. I don't think that was legal.
Probably not.
I mean, that place isn't open anymore. So
I see people with kids in liquor stores and stuff all the time.
Yeah. But I grew up in Philly. I spent a lot of time in Atlantic City. I was left in like at the door of the casino often, like for hours. Like, and this is like in the 80s. You could just leave a kid at the entrance of a casino. No one ever like tried to take me. No one ever asked if I needed any help. I would just stand there while my mom was gambling.
Yeah, that's the thing with like, the last couple of years, everybody's been freaking out about leaving your kids in the car and all this other stuff. That was like a punishment. That was like grounded. We'd be in church or whatever, and I'd be acting up. My dad would take me out to the car, lock the door, and then go back inside. That was like, you're grounded. You're sitting in the car. Maybe we were just a tougher generation. I don't know.
I mean,
baby's out here.
Your dad is definitely fucked up, but he just didn't know how to express. Look, I feel like I'm a shitty dad too because I lash out like that also. But like, fuck, I didn't know any other way. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm better than my mom, and that's not an excuse, but. I laugh at that shit because I understand that dad's frustration. Just like
he had the finger. He'd like put it in your chest, and push down. You're like,
yeah. How many of you was it?
There's 3 of us.
And what number are you?
Yeah, I was the last.
Yeah. Have you heard my joke about baby number 3?
No, maybe not.
You gotta listen to my album, the second one.
Oh,
right?
I was gonna say, don't burn it. I was gonna say not to burn it.
Yeah, well, listen to it or you just go to iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, Pandora, wherever. Search Dave Temple, the second one, and there is a joke on there about baby number 3 is the baby. Hold on, matter of fact, I got y'all. We got a few minutes, right? Hold on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try and pull it up on the thing because the way this shit is set up, you guys can actually hear my audio. At least I have that much of a setup.
We've got as much time as you want or have.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just drank 2 bottles of water, so I don't have that much time. I'm going to have to pee at some point.
Oh, man.
I have to intermission. I do that every episode, too. I don't know why.
Get up and pee?
I drink 2 bottles of water, and then halfway through the show, I have to pee.
Oh, do you get nervous before?
Not especially.
Now that we've helped people.
Oh, we could kind of hear that.
Yeah, that's my. Oh yeah, you'll be able to hear. Hold on. But that's a commercial.
Liberty Mutual. Yeah. Use promo code STMPod at checkout. Liberty Mutual.
I know, my bad.
Oh yeah, like we got sponsors like Liberty Mutual. That's
then they want to, children. That's always a
Can you hear it?
tough thing. Yeah. Adding kids into the situation, right? Like, I don't know what's going on. My lady's pressuring me right now for baby number 3. I'm like, oof, why? Why would you want to do that, right? Who said that? Who said go for it? How many you got? How many you got? You got 4? What was wrong with the first one? Why would you keep going, right? Like what? What void are you trying to fill, man? Listen, people, if you have one child and it's smart, stop. Cut it off. Chances of you getting another smart one slim to none. We don't need no more dumb people running around here gumming up the fucking works, man. I get it. You think your boy is special. No, he's not, right? That is, ooh, you had to talk with the smart one about the dumb one yet? Yeah, that's your responsibility. You got to keep it real with your stock. You got to be honest with your kids and recognize what the fuck they are. Women, you girls, you can love your children unconditionally. You don't care, right? Whatever. You can have one pass the bar to be a lawyer. Other one gets their vest to check receipts at Walmart. Mom loves them both. Ah, my boys, right? Dads, we're a bit more realistic about the situation, right? As soon as you see something that looks stupid with one kid, you're like, I'm not putting no money away for that education. Nah, fuck that. I'm buying a boat, right?
I think it's later on when you get to the baby number 3, but basically,
I'm assuming, and I'm projecting.
I say or hear about how baby number 3 is a life-changing baby. You know, then no one really. Baby number 3 was always the mistake baby. Like no,
The accident, baby.
Dad didn't want that one. They were already in over their head with 2.
I was told it was in the back of a Ford Pinto. So
Yeah, it got caught up in shit. But yeah, man, that's a clip. That's a clip off of that album there. So yeah, if you guys can listen to it on all those platforms, it's fun.
Speaking of babies, they come out of your balls, and you want to keep those fuckers clean. So go to ballwash.com. Get yourself some ball wash. They got nut rub cologne, back spray, and ball wash, nuts, butts, and body wash. They also have good head shampoo and all kinds of fun stuff. Ballwash.com, promo code STMPod at checkout. Save yourself 10%.
So now the crazy thing is, y'all start talking about not wanting to turn out like your parents or the messed up things your parents did to you when you was a kid, locking you in the car and all this shit. I just got my mother to start listening to the podcast.
Okay.
Finally got her to listen to the fucking podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I know she's listening right now. And I also just convinced her that no, it's not just me sitting there talking shit about her the whole time.
Okay.
Because I made a joke.
So you don't want to share your stories?
I made a joke about 2 months ago about, have you listened to the podcast? And she's like, no. And I'm like, good, because we've been talking about you.
Yeah.
And she did not pick up that was a joke. And so I'm pleading the fifth on this one.
Didn't you say you always try out your jokes on your mom?
I always try out my jokes on my mom, and I know if I can get my mom to laugh, it's solid.
Okay.
Because she don't think shit's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
So where do you get together? Like, is there nothing really shut down in Wyoming? You said, right? So you still getting to get out?
Nah, like I said, I've been trying to avoid shit.
I was gonna say that's true, but also they would do a show. What is it? Every other Thursday?
Yeah, it was every other Thursday,
and they just haven't been doing shows. But I'm sure the bars would let you if you wanted to. But.
Yeah, I've been writing, but I haven't been performing. So
yeah, just local bar shows. They set up their own open mic.
Was just
do you guys get a good crowd though? Are you able to get people together out there to come out and see it?
No, not really. but I was explaining on an earlier was it Martinez that episode where I was talking
Jimmy
about
Martinez?
Yeah. Where I was talking about the beauty of it though is because it's local. When somebody heckles you, you can just heckle them right back. Be like, all right, Dale. I'll see you at the auto parts store tomorrow.
Yeah, I've done a lot of small town shows like that, and that's always the best thing. Is usually, the promoter knows everybody that's going to be a potential problem already. Which that's the other thing I love about small towns. The town asshole is always there. Like he's always invited. They kind of give you a preamble, like, "Hey, this guy." It's like, well, kick him out.
Yeah.
No, he's here.
Yeah, we've hosted some shows for like touring comics and stuff like that. Our friend AJ, he's used to be on the show. He does it every now and then, but yeah, he puts on shows. A lot of guys out of Salt Lake, Wise Guys. You've heard of Wise Guys?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those comics come down here and do some bar shows and stuff. But yeah, there's been quite a few heckles and stuff, and people will get too drunk and scream and get kicked out, and it's a whole thing. you knew what it was. You bought the ticket.
Here's the thing that fucks with me, man. When I come out to those places, man, I'm a fetish when I come to Wyoming, dude. Like if I come to Wyoming, if I'm playing like a VFW hall or some weird, shit, they're coming up afterwards. I get sexually assaulted like a motherfucker. Like women come to take my picture and grab my ass. You know what I mean? Like it's brutal out there, dude.
Yeah, me too.
I have women tell me in a heartbeat. I've had women tell me like, "Hey, if you want, after we have a few drinks, we can come back to the house and get in the hot tub. My husband doesn't mind." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Like I'd be like selling merch after a show, and like the women would they buy the merch, but they would definitely throw out those kind of invitations, and I just pass it off. They come back like a few minutes later with the husband, and this guy, he's just drunk, having a beer. Like he's like, "Yeah, I don't mind." And I'm like, "Oh, that small town shit is different." Where they're like, "Yeah, whatever, dude. I don't even give a fuck anymore."
People are bored, man.
Yeah,
There's a lot to do in a small town. I mean, what do you got? You got Walmart. It's pretty much our mall. You got comedians that you're attracted to.
Oh, my bad. Is this?
No, I do have to piss.
I didn't know. I thought he was reacting like that because he's like, "Fuck, my mom's gonna listen to this shit."
Yeah, get out your bingo cards. Randy went to the bathroom.
What are we supposed to talk about on this show, man? We got any topics?
No, this is it.
I'm just fucking around.
Like, you got any topics? No, usually no topics. No.
Yeah. What did you guys think of like the Capitol Hill stuff the other day? Was this shit hilarious or what?
I didn't pay much. I was like you. I was listening to your show, and I was like you, where I didn't really care or pay attention.
I know, right?
But a couple of your guys on your show made me feel like I should not be white. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I was listening to it. I was like,
I mean, look, I get it. But that's like you ever, how old are you, man?
32.
32. Okay, so you probably seen some of the same goofy cartoons and shit that I saw about like saving the environment or not eating meat and being kind to all animals and all that kind of shit like that, which is a noble concept. But are we really supposed to like whatever we have to our advantage, or just supposed to let it go so that more people can be around? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I never really.
Because if the shoe was on the other foot, do you think they'd be saying the same thing?
This is kind of where I stand on everything. I feel like people should be treated the same.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, with teaching my kids to not judge people by appearance, but who they are as a person. And I think that it's up to us to start the next generation off.
Yeah.
In a better place. But I'm also one of those people, like, it doesn't affect me, so why do I care? Like, that's how I feel about politics.
Right.
I'm just living my life. And if it comes down to a civil war or whatever everybody's freaking out about, it's like, this is the one thing I know for sure. I'm going to protect my family, and that's fucking it. That's it.
Yeah, but the way the thing has it, the way the media has it, the media would have me think that you are armed to the teeth, ready to come and kill me because
you're not all wrong.
No, you're right.
I do have a lot of guns. But
well, you did before that boating accident.
Yes. But I don't want to really hurt anybody. So I don't really have that mentality of charging buildings and things.
I have no guns, and I constantly want to hurt everyone.
Have you ever seen the game that we play, Thug Neck?
Do I?
I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, sometimes we play a game on Unpopular Opinions. It's called Thug Neck, and that's where we take a picture of a redneck and a local neighborhood thug, and we post them side by side, and the guest has to choose which one is more intimidating.
I think I would fail. I don't think I'd be as intimidating as most people.
But it's
Say
just
90% of the population.
you'd be surprised, bro. Like we can pair up the scrawniest guy, put a Confederate flag and a fucking shotgun on his shoulder, and they don't see, like, someone really has to go between him and an all buffed up jack black dude with a Uzi turned sideways or whatever. You know, it's
I don't know why Uzi just reminds me of Don't Be a Menace to South Central when he was picking out shoes with his guns. Every time I hear Uzi, I just think of him like holding the pink slippers.
yeah, man.
I'm sure we could get an Uzi here, but I've never tried. I have a semi-auto AR and some other fun stuff. I just bought a 1911 45. But yeah, I don't have any automatics. I think you have to like get special permits and stuff. I don't know. It'd be fun. I mean, it'd be fun to go shoot.
Yeah.
Just not at anyone. That's just not who I am. I'll shoot at a deer. That's about it. That's as far as I go. A deer or a bunny rabbit.
I'm telling you, most people on this side do not believe that.
Oh,
people do not believe, dude.
Especially
there's
Wyoming.
a narrative that like everybody thinks that everything is just Texas Chainsaw Massacre out there.
Yeah,
that's what everybody over here thinks. It's crazy, and they won't go to see.
Yeah,
they'll just watch a movie, and then they'll hear one isolated news story that like is enough for them to be like, all right, yeah.
I feel like most people are just nice. And everybody just kind of does their own thing.
Yeah, people out here are just insanely, just coming from the East Coast myself, people out here are just insanely fucking nice.
Yeah,
man.
they're just nice.
Yeah.
I keep saying that, you in a place like, say, Las Vegas or somewhere like that, I'm basically a freaking Boy Scout because I don't do a whole lot of shit. I don't, do drugs or gamble or any shit like that. Up here, I smoke cigarettes and I drink beer, and I'm like a fucking menace to society in some circles in this fucking town, man.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Wow. So I was about to ask, what are the drugs like out there? Like, what's the weed stuff like out there?
Oh, I mean, we're pretty close.
I don't know personally, but judging by some of the cats I've seen, they must have some good shit.
Yeah. Meth and heroin is kind of a problem, but also we're pretty close to like 3 legal states for marijuana. So that's
you downplayed meth and heroin like how I did black on black crime. Jesus Christ.
It's just
I mean, okay.
Some people are on meth.
It happens.
We also have the state hospital here in town, so got a lot of crazies too.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little while ago about how like that used to be the solution for anybody who didn't act right. Just label them crazy and just lock them away somewhere.
That happens.
Sort of like how your dad was like, he can't act right. Go put him in the fucking car. Like I'm not concerned about this kid's fucking health. I
remember hearing stories of like in the 80s, they would pay people like $50 because they'd get more money from the state. So they'd pay people to bring people into the state hospital.
It was like a crazy bounty.
Yeah. So people would just do it like, I'll see you next weekend. I need $50 right now.
It's because if you're crazy, and I say this as a crazy person, if you're crazy, you either end up leading the pack or just cast out from the herd. There's no in between. Like I learned today, this is a weird random scientific fact. If you take a zebrafish and separate it from the rest of the fish and get it drunk. Okay, it's already hilarious, but bear with me.
Okay.
But if you get the zebrafish drunk and then put it back in the aquarium with the sober fish will make it their leader. and they will follow it around and do whatever it does.
Ah,
And they're like, oh man, I mean, okay, this guy is just brimming with confidence, man.
as everyone's enlightened experience, right? They got a call, they got a tap, they were abducted by aliens. That's hilarious.
It's like, look at him. He's just brimming with confidence. I mean, his speech is slurred and he doesn't have the best motor skills, but good God, there is no inhibition about him. He is going to make the aquarium great again.
That
I get that way when I'm drunk sometimes.
yeah, I think I get that way when I'm high. People kind of listen to me when I'm high. I'm like, you guys are idiots, but whatever. Like, I feel like Jesus felt that way too. It's like, you guys are really just gonna follow me? Like, all right, whatever.
Jesus was probably also just high.
My grandma used to say when Jesus was on the cross, he was looking down at a bunch of fools, and nothing's really changed in 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Looking down at a bunch of fools.
I recently watched that Tekashi 6ix9ine documentary that they have on Hulu. Are you guys familiar with this guy at all? Tekashi.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah. The documentary is pretty fascinating because this kid, he just manipulated everybody. I mean, this kid manipulated industry people. This kid manipulated gangbangers. This kid manipulates the internet, and he just moves on. And I'm like, I don't think enough people are recognizing like how talented this guy is.
Yeah.
And if he's pulling this kind of manipulation off at such a young age, he's going to be a serious problem at like 55, 60. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, sometimes you got to look at the con and just like appreciate some of the aspects of it.
well, yeah, because here's the thing. And I don't know whether you guys know much about like what he's been charged with. Like,
I thought it was some kind of tax evasion type of thing.
Racketeering.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what it was.
right. But he snitched on everybody.
Oh yeah.
And got out. And he's like, just
The memes
walking
were
away.
great.
He's not alive. He's not dead. It's like he totally just threw that rule out the window, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. But apparently he had to fix that image to even go to the gang thing because of the pedophilia charge before that.
Oh yeah, did not hear about that one.
I didn't know about that either.
That one kind of chased him out of like the grunge and rock and roll scene, but he was able to reinvent himself and come back as like a hardcore rapper who then was charged with racketeering and was able to get out of that. And now he's kind of in like this pop, you know, the kind of like this K-pop world now where he's making music that's not even really for America. And I'm like, wow, this kid, like those, like, I don't know about you guys. I've never been charged with like racketeering and pedophilia in a lifetime. You know what I mean? Like,
thank you for not assuming.
I mean, those are two serious charges to have put on you at a young age, and he beats both of them. Like, I'm like, wow, dude, this guy's going right to the top.
Yeah, he changes genres as much as was that Machine Gun Kelly.
I had to watch this thing, man.
Machine Gun Kelly did that.
I didn't know half of this.
Yeah, I'll check it out too. But yeah, he's into rock and roll now. He moved to rock and roll.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple of his songs, like more poppy or rock songs. I'm like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a weird thing too. I know that's kind of frowned upon to switch up genres, or but it is also, it's pretty impressive, Like we were talking about this earlier today about like, there's no denying how talented Kanye West is, and his ego is very big, but he has to recognize other extremely talented, if not more talented people. Like, you'd think Kanye is fully aware of like Donald Glover and goes like, shit, that motherfucker's talented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy like writes sitcoms, does stand up, you know what I mean? Raps, like
probably one of the most famous rap videos ever.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, this guy is making music at your level while also dominating a few other genres of, entertainment where he's like at a very high level, writing shows, writing movies. And it's like, do you think someone like Kanye has it in him to look over and be like, God damn, that motherfucker's talented.
I don't know. I feel like most, I don't want to like generalize and be a dick, but I feel like most.
Now you be careful what you say about Kanye. He lives right up the road.
No, I know Kanye lives, well, he bought a house here.
Yeah.
But I wasn't zeroing out Kanye. I was saying in general, I'm generalizing stars. I feel like a lot of them, there's not a lot to them. Like when you hear interviews with them on podcasts and stuff, it's like, oh, this is just boring. You never really had anything go on in your life.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I feel about like a lot of stars. Maybe I'm just an asshole.
I don't know. I get the sense that a lot of them are just the really. You've got a bunch of people that are celebrities, especially when it comes to musicians and stuff, especially when it comes to people that aren't really on the whole pop spectrum. And you've got a lot of weird artistic people.
I'm right here, man.
I said artistic, not autistic.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Weird artistic people that don't really have the best social skills, and you just got them all together in one category of person.
Yeah, maybe they're just talented because they
you know that might have a lot to do with it. Especially when you read about, like, for example, Kurt Cobain was actually a really shy person for the persona that he put out there.
I'm that way. I turn it on and off. I turn it on stage to win on stage, and that just became because some of the environments that I was in, you had to be that way in order to be heard.
Right.
But I always wanted to express, you know, like I knew, like when I started off in rooms, I had to be loud and nostalgic. Hey man, you remember when you was a kid and everything had to be some sort of setup to nostalgia, and it was just that was just the crowd that I had access to.
Right. Hey, you would mention things like the Gargoyle cartoon.
I was gonna say we're right here, dude. I feel like an attack now.
You know, as I got more into performing for, like, doing a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do, but because I had to, I got more comfortable, you know, and I guess like just performing to sometimes silence or something that's not even going to be received at all. So like somewhere the fear went away with that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, because I'm not worried about people laughing because I don't really care about this show or this gig, I got comfortable on stage. You know what I mean?
You got to find your own voice. Like I hear a lot of people start out almost as their idols in comedy until they kind of progress into their own.
And you're nowhere near your idols when you're on the road. When you're on the road, it's just you.
Yeah.
Just you. You can have a great show, but like in your mind, nobody who matters saw it. And the reality was that wasn't the case. The people who were there saw it and they remember it and they appreciate it. You know what I mean? They always appreciate when you come out and do these shows. And I found like, most of my followers do come from small towns, you know, throughout the country, man. You look at the metrics on my podcast and shit like that. Or, you know, whether you guys ever chat in the comments, like, yeah, you guys are.
I mean, it's almost like they have small town mentality. All right. Well,
that's kind of going into what I was talking about, though, is the you got a lot of people, they've got their on stage personality, and then they got who they are, like, you know, when the mic's not on and when they're not on stage. And one of the examples I give is I'm more nervous when I get off the stage and I have to talk to people after a show than I am when I'm actually doing a show.
Yeah.
You know, that's more nerve-wracking to me because then when I'm on stage, I got everything ready. I know what I'm going to say. I know what I'm going to do. I know how I'm going to move. I get off the show and then I talk to people and I'm just standing there like, okay, thanks. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm glad you liked it. Cool. It's just awkward as fuck. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The closest I've ever come to doing comedy was I hosted one of these guys' open mics once.
We keep trying to
brought them up.
We keep trying to get them to put together, just put together.
I can't write jokes. I'm not funny. I'll be a podcast host. I wasn't even made for
Just
radio.
take the funny stuff that you say on this podcast and write it down and say it on stage. Nobody's gonna know it. Nobody watches the show.
Okay, question. What funny stuff have I said?
I don't know. I don't watch this show.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's not even about the funny stuff that you say. It's that sometimes people just get into the essence that's you.
Yeah.
Whatever they find charming about you. You got kids, right? How many kids you got?
2.
So you got to have some sort of charm to you, right? Somebody's buying that shit. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. She's still around, I guess. Coming up on 10-year wedding.
You know, once you find that audience, you know what it is, you know?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love comedy. I've dreamt about doing it for like 10 years. My entire life is comedy. I like involved in it. I watch every TV show about it. I watch every special. I love it. I just surround myself with comedy. I try to surround myself with funny people. I try to talk to funny people. It's just, it's something that I love. I've just never.
Which I can kind of see that.
Never done.
Yeah, I can kind of see that because I'm kind of the same way with music.
Yeah.
Like I know you don't want to be a strictly music podcast, but I have just been loving the shit out of having all these bands on and shit.
Yeah, they're great. Speaking of bands we've had on, this right here. Oh no, let me get the View of Life. Shout out to Tanner. Shout out to Jason Melbank. We love you guys over here. Should I show the back? Can I?
Yeah. There you
go. I bought some shirts. My buddy plays the bass in that band. We love you guys. But yeah, and also shout out to Current Call Records, who gives us interviews all the time.
Yeah, they've really been feeding us a lot lately, man.
Speaking of, song of the week this week is going to go out to a band called Vocal Drop and their song Yesterday. So stick around after the show and you can check that song out. Anyways, moving on. Just throwing out some random shit, random bought up bands. No, comedy. We went from music to comedy to parenting to comedy to music. Been all over the place.
Yeah.
It's been a good journey. Journey.
You know, it's been it's been pretty smoothly transitioning from one topic to the other. And if you want things to move smoothly, you should check out our sponsor, Spunk Lube. Get the camera.
Spunk Lube.
There we go. Promo code STMPOD, spunklube.com. Save yourself up 15%.
Yep, it's true. Get yourself a 15-gallon drum. I got so much Spunk Lube at my house; it's ridiculous.
I want to get a 55-gallon drum and then just dump it on the floor and then just slide around like Tom Cruise in Risky Business.
Mm-hmm.
I want that lube that they have in the porn, whatever that clear stuff is that they rub on the black women.
I don't know if
whatever it is, it ain't baby oil. I know that because I tried it and they said you can't put that in their vagina. So you got
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Astroglide, maybe.
No, because they got like a big bottle of it. They get to just squirt it and they rub it all over. And
this stuff here looks like cum. That's their gimmick. So. So it's probably that fake cum that like drips on. Randy, porn?
No, it's just I'm sorry. You were talking about dripping fake cum on something, and then I started thinking about basting a turkey, and then I got hungry.
Okay.
You can't pull this shit around a fat guy.
Yeah.
No, seriously. I was thinking those like I don't know what that stuff's called, but would I admit it if I did know? I mean, how much of an encyclopedic knowledge of porn
you might as well start admitting it. Yeah. You got to be vulnerable up there. You got to let them know everything.
And then in 2006 they changed the formula, and now it's a silicone base.
Yeah. Just like the Straight documentary.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Well, I think we've done it. I think we've had a good one.
Yeah, it's good, man.
You got some things to plug?
Yeah, me again, and it's just the website, DaveTempleComedy.com. Join my website, guys. On my website, if you become a member of the website, you will get access to my special, the second one. You will also get access to hours of content of shows like Look at It This Way, Temple University, Unpopular Opinions, First World Problems with my good friend Chris Cotton. So, you can become a member there for as little as $5 a month and have access to that and hours of content, things getting uploaded weekly. Or you can just go ahead and just buy the special outright. at davetemplecomedy.com. It's right there on the homepage. Just go ahead, click through to ask you to sign up, and then enter your credit card information, and boom.
You code STMPod.
Yeah, code. I should do that. Yeah. All right. So, what's the code? STMPod. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna do. I got to figure out a way to put a promo code in there. You know what I mean? And then that way, STMPod get a kickback. All right. So you're not just supporting me. You support the Small Town Podcast. All right. Follow me at Consider This Comedy, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. We do Unpopular Opinions. That's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'm here in New York.
I might be on it. When does this come out? Monday? So yeah, I might be on it tomorrow to you guys listening.
Okay.
We'll see. I was asked on Tuesday, but I don't know where I'm going to be in life. So we'll try it out.
All right, man. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you so much.
Randy, plugs?
Randy Garner Humor on Instagram, Rando Garner Humor on TikTok, Restless Native, spelled with an 8 on Twitter, but I'm never on Twitter, so don't even worry about it. And yeah, I was actually going to recruit you for, I need some help with a TikTok. I'm going to do a skit.
Okay. We'll try it. You can follow me.
I keep meaning to bring that up.
You can follow me everywhere. Never Been Funny with 1 E. Yes, it is a pun. You can follow us everywhere at STM Pod and all things social media, DramaCityProductions.com. Check out all the shows on the network. And that is it. Dave, I love you. I might see you on Tuesday, and I appreciate you coming on.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Until next week, go